Yeah, 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 exactly that. That just momentarily wound me up.
Okay, since when does it take like 100 million grenades to blow?
Oh. Oh, imagine if the stream's not showing up on my YouTube studio. Imagine that. It is, thank God for that. I can still hear that obnoxious thing in the
Yeah,
background.
same here.
Can you? Can you hear it as
Yeah,
well?
yeah.
Blimey.
Oh, fuck me, man.
Whoever that is out there, just know that I've fantasized about your car blowing up. I've sat here and I've literally fantasized about it in my head. And I've thought to myself, the world would be a better place if that car was blown up. I bet you there's no formation lap either.
Well, then that's T's fault.
No, it just gives us no time to get into it. It gives us no time to prepare. It's like 1 second we're sat there doing nothing, the next second it's, oh god, it's starting.
Well, I'm sitting here shooting Nazis. Shooting quite content in a sec.
You can actually see it now because it's share play. So
Yeah,
if it
yeah.
starts, just start commentating. I can't see shit because I'm looking at my computer screen.
Well, I'm not hearing jack shit at the minute, so
Yeah, just be ready for the start because I don't know what's on the screen.
we're loading that now.
We should have about 30 seconds from now, I think.
Nico Blanco's in.
Ah, is he too late to join the sprint, do you reckon?
No idea.
He might be
Joined
close
before it
actually.
got.
He might have just got in time.
Well, it joined as it was coming off the loading screen.
Are you
Right.
fucking... Are you kidding me? It's copied and pasted the description, not the video link.
Oh. Give me a sec.
Ian, I need you to be ready for the start because I can't see it.
Yeah, it's instant race.
I know that. Here we are then, into turn one. We've got Cameron on the outside, and he's got Senna looking down his inside, and Senna's made the move for the lead, but Cameron keeping it around the outside here for turn two, as they're still side by side, and Cameron managing to hold on to the lead there. As we can see in the background, Vita Ultra having a bit of a dice with Horatio, and Tezza Moz has moved up ahead of Crazy Max. So Tezza, despite his qualifying ban, starting in the back of the pack, he's done absolute bits here in the first few corners, up into 7th place already. What a start from Tezza Muzza, as Papa Squanch and Horatio dicing out as well here in P5 and 6. Horatio there squeezing through up into 5th place. But what a start from Tezza Muzzari, and he's gained 5 places. Oh, it's an AlphaTauri round! That's Crazy Max there, who's completely got it out of shape there, and he's dropping down the back to the back. He's down to 12th place there, so a bit of a nightmare there for Crazy Max. But Cameron leading ahead of Senna on this first lap with Muhar in 3rd ahead of Vita Ultra, followed by Horatio, who's in 5th place ahead of Papa Squanch, Tezza Muzza, then the Grieve ahead of Binding Code, and Mark Bow completing the top 10, followed by Little Greavy, with Crazy Max having that spin, and Freddy's also had a bit of a shaky first lap to this race, down in 13th place at the moment.
Well, that was a very hectic start to the race there. Like you're saying about Ted Mazza, yeah, he took an absolute fantastic start and did everything he possibly could to get as many places at the start. Because as we all know, the start of the race is the best time to be making moves.
It definitely is. Whenever he's concertinaed it up, you really want to be making the most of that. We can see a couple of drivers here in this sprint race here have gone for the hard tyres, so they're obviously expecting some deg to be pretty prevalent here over the course of this race. Now, obviously, it's only 10 laps, but we know that Qatar, it's very, very hot, and also it's quite a high tide egg track because there's a lot of fast sweeping corners. So potentially they could be onto winners there. Senna and Papasquanch there doing that. Two drivers who I think might struggle in this one: Horatio and Tezamaza, both on the soft tyres. Is that going to be? I mean, even in real life, that didn't pay dividends. We saw George Russell, for example, as well as the two Ferraris doing that strategy in Qatar this season in a sprint race, and it did not work out at.
Soft tyres dropped off an absolute cliff well before the technicians were expecting them to. This fell off a cliff. We know why. Because like you said, it's hot here. There's the high speed corners and everything. It's not really the most ideal track for the softs or even really the mediums.
It is a real recipe for struggles if you overdo it. But Little Greavy nonetheless has moved through ahead of the Grieve up into 9th place. Crazy Max has just moved ahead of Binding Code up into 11th, but the Grieve's still on the back of Little Greavy at the moment as they're coming out onto the start-finish straight. Here we go. Looks like the two brothers, the two teammates as well, and the Grieve's got a great run there down the straight there on Little Greavy. Moves himself through up into 9th place as Vitan Ultra and Muha battling over the podium places here, and Vitan Ultra's got that move done there up into 3rd place going through turn 2. Nice move there. Looked like they were pretty close, but he's done it very cleanly there. And Cameron has still got Senna all over the back of him right now. Obviously, Cameron running on his medium tyres. Senna has played it safe and gone for the hards. And Senna's showing he's got the pace despite being on that slower compound, the much more durable hard tyre. Yeah, he's currently making it work at the moment, Ian. And he's in a good position here. He just needs to keep himself close. Maybe make the most of that DRS when it will be available at the end of this lap.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to say so. Even though, like you say, he's on the harder compound. He's got just as much pace as Cameron on the softer compound. So he has, and it just shows how fast the softer tyres can wear off compared to the hards.
Do we reckon maybe Cameron might not be pushing it 100% because he knows he needs to keep onto them? Or is Vitan Ultra very wide there in the background? Maybe Cameron's just trying to keep onto them for the time being, trying not to take too much life out of them before he really needs to be leaning on them.
I mean, it's always possible, but it looks like we've got Cameron's weaving to try and break Senna's. Yeah, he was just trying to break Senna's go there, but it looks like Senna's.
Oh! He's looking down the inside. Cameron, though, managing to hold the grip around the outside. Those sort of corners, that's where the medium tyres have got the advantage, and Cameron managed to put that to good use there. Senna obviously at the straight line speed, but through the corners, Cameron is going to have more confidence there. But Senna's keeping up with him and staying in that slipstream. And Mark Bowe's picked up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Little Greavy already had one before, but Mark Bowe becomes the second driver in this race to pick up a time penalty as we see Senna sliding around a little bit there, really pushing the limits as he's trying to stay on the back of this driver who's in front of him right now, Cameron, who's running on his mediums as we said before. Cameron's had a few good races here this season. He's had a couple of really strong showings. He's a driver who I think has got certain tracks which he really likes, and this appears to be one of them at the moment. Obviously, he won earlier in the season at Bahrain. Seems to go well around tracks that are high tyre wear and very, very hot. I mean, Bahrain, Qatar, you know, I'm sensing a pattern here.
Tracks are more towards the Middle East.
More
towards the Middle East of the planet.
Yeah. I think he must like the food out there or something maybe, but currently we've got Vitan Ultra still just ahead of Muha as they're coming out onto the start finish straight. Obviously we're just joking because we're not actually really there in real life. This is obviously only a game, so we're not actually there in person. But Senna nonetheless making a move down the inside into turn 1, and he gets the move done there up into the lead. But Cameron once again managing to keep that grip on the outside, almost contact between the two of them as Cameron squeezes back through. Obviously, Senna will be looking at this tonight as a big opportunity with Tezamaza's qualifying ban, and we'll be looking at it as a chance to try and close the gap in the championship, but he's struggling to negotiate the race to Cameron at the moment, who's doing a great job of holding his ground here.
Well, I've actually, weirdly enough, I've actually got the current standings in front of me, so I do, Senna is 164 points, and Tezamaza's on 113 points.
213.
213, sorry.
Tez's 49 points ahead to Ian. What he was saying there is Tez's leading and Senna's 49 points behind. But you know what? With 4 races left, and obviously there's a couple of sprint races tonight, and obviously Brazil as well is a sprint race. So you know, there's plenty of points on the table. Brazil is obviously the final race of the season as well. So it'd be great to see Interlagos being the season finale, and who knows, the championship could still be on the line going into that final race, because as we said before, there will be still 34 points on the table going into that final race, so it's still all to play for. But Senna just needs to keep taking points out of Tezza and keep himself close, and who knows, you know, anything can happen in the final part of the season. Form goes out of the window once you get to this point in the season, especially with the championship on the line. Oh, it's Senna's move. Senna's made the move here, although Cameron again around the outside of turn 2. Unbelievable stuff there. I tell you what, it's the same every single lap. It looks like Senna's done the move. He seems to squeeze ahead, but then Cameron has the grip around the outside to stay ahead. And this is absolutely fantastic racing here between these two.
But with all medium tyres.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's going to be absolutely going hell for leather at the moment, just trying to make sure his car is positioned in the right places, and he's doing a really good job at the moment. But how much longer is he going to be able to hold on, especially because Senna's tyres won't even have scratched the surface at the moment. Those hard tyres, they're practically bulletproof, and there's pretty much nothing that you can do to take the life out of them until probably well into the stint. I'd say 15 laps or so, you'd start to feel a little bit of wear and tear. But at this point in the race, Senna's going to be basically driving around on a brand spanking new set of tyres. Saying that though, Cameron's pulled out a bit of a gap over the course of this lap, nearly a second now separating these two. Is he now starting to eat into that tyre life for the mediums? Maybe he's now extracting the best out of them, knows he's got to try and pull this gap whilst he's still got the grip to do so.
Well, it is a strange one to have wanting to push at this stage of the race, knowing that the person behind you has just as much pace and has the more durable tyre on. So it is definitely a bit of a strange decision to start pushing at this stage.
So we saw Muhard looking around the outside of V10 Ultra going into turn 3, but just wasn't able to keep himself around the outside. It looked like a similar move to what Cameron does on Senna, except Cameron's move is a defensive move, where he's already there, whereas Muhard was just trying to poke his nose in a bit. But V10 Ultra said, no, don't even think about it, it's not going to happen, son. But Muhard's still behind him for the time being in that battle. Tezza Mazza, currently the rear gunner of this quartet of cars who are batting out over the podium places. So he's not too far away, but he probably needs something to happen in front of them because they're all in a DRS train at the moment. So it's going to be very, very difficult for him to pick his way through, and it's not the easiest track to overtake either.
No, it's really not. You only really have a bare minimum. Very few, you have very little corners at all to actually complete an overtake and do it well. Because when you think about it, this track is very reminiscent of Bahrain, with the tight right-hander at the first corner, then a left, then a straight into a right. At least the first part of the first sector is very much like Bahrain.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's not easy at all, but nonetheless, we can see Cameron here coming over the line to start lap 8 of the race. So he's got 3 laps left to go to hold on for this sprint race win. Cameron's taken a few into it motive already. He took the opening Grand Prix of the season at Bahrain. He's also taken a couple of other wins over the course of this season. So, you know, he's been up there or thereabouts in a few of the races. And it'd be great to see him back on the top step again, albeit not in the main event of the evening. Senna's going to push him all the way though, because as we know, Senna chasing the championship here this season with Tezza down in P6. As things stand in this race at this very moment, Senna will be gaining 5 points. He'd dearly love to make that a 7-point swing and close that gap to 42 points in the championship rather than 44. But still a long way to go, still a lot of work to do, but he's doing what he has to do at the moment. He just needs to find a way past this Alfa Romeo, which is currently not really giving him anything to go on at the moment, and it seems like Cameron has every answer to Senna's pushings at this point. Tezza looking a bit closer to the back of Horatio at the moment, as Horatio's starting to drop off at the back of Muha a little bit. Maybe if Horatio drops out of that DRS, then that could present Tezza with a golden opportunity here to take P5, and that would give him a couple more points for his championship here in this sprint race tonight. But Senna, I think, just a little bit further back than he has been in recent laps here on Cameron. Obviously, this is the time when this is the part of the lap where Senna usually closes in and has a pop at Cameron. Oh no, he's going to go for it. Nonetheless, no, not quite. A little bit further back position. The Grieve and Little Greavy still going at it as well for 9th and 10th. The two Haas drivers at the moment. giving it absolutely everything at the moment, but Cameron's still clinging on from Senna. Senna's going to have probably one more chance, two more chances maybe, to get this done. The main straight and then the back straight, but he's going to have to be very close coming out of that final corner, isn't he, Ian?
Yeah, he's going to have to be right on the back of his gearbox just to even have a sniff of a chance, but given how much of a gap Cameron can create in this sector of the lap compared to Senna, I have a feeling that even if Senna was to get by Cameron, it would still be very, very close coming onto the final straight.
It certainly would. So we've got just a final corner here of this penultimate lap to go, and we'll be on the final lap now. This is the part of the track where Senna usually has a pop, and I'll tell you what, he's a lot closer this time, Ian. This could be the lead going for Cameron. He's weaving around, trying to break that toe. Senna's going to pick up that DRS. He's going to get the closing speed here, and he's closer this time than he was on the previous lap. Goes to the outside. Cameron covers him off. Senna's already got the move done before the corner, and that's easy pickings there for Senna. And Cameron's stout defence of this race lead has finally been broken down. Senna's taken the lead on this final lap of the race. Can he hold it for the rest of the lap, or is Cameron going to come back at him here? Cameron has done a really good job here of keeping him behind, but he couldn't hold it any longer. But is this going to be a case of Cameron returning the favour here on this final lap? On board with Cameron, as we've got half a lap left to go here for the sprint race here tonight at Qatar for Motive Racing's F1 League. Senna's currently going to score maximum points, and he's going to gain 7 points on his championship rival. Sorry, 5 points on his championship rival Teza Muzza, who's down in P6 here in this one. That's going to be exactly what Teza Muzza needed here. In fact, no, it is 7 points he'll gain on him, because I was right the first time. But as we're coming through the final few corners, Cameron just needs to get a run through one of these slower corners, but he's not going to get it. And into the final corner we come for the sprint race here. Cameron's led the entire race up to this point, but he's not going to be the man to see the checkered flag. Sorry, that's not the final corner. I do apologise. Sorry, I don't know this track. I know nothing about this track. Sorry. But nonetheless, coming through this penultimate corner, and this is the final corner, I promise you. And here we come. Senna's going to take the checkered flag. It's going to be the win, and what a win at that. He had to fight hard for this one. Cameron, a valiant second place in the end, but Senna is your race. Oh my god!
Cameron got it!
Oh my
Cameron
god!
got it!
I thought it was the first line, was the finish line.
No!
Oh my god, Cameron's mucked him on the line!
God!
That's incredible.
Wow.
Never ever ever speak too soon. It's never over until it's over.
That's why I said, but that's why I wasn't saying anything.
And we got little Greavy being mugged by his brother. Oh, guys, come on, that's not acceptable. No. That's not acceptable. The two brothers. I don't care if you're brothers. I don't care if you're teammates. That's not acceptable.
Cameron in the chat, rather predictably. Well done, Cameron. Is that Cameron's first win in F1?
No, he took the season opener actually, the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. It might be his first sprint race win though.
Well, there you go. It's your second race, and yes, granted it was a sprint race, but you'll be able to take your knowledge into the actual GP, and hopefully it can. You can convert it into a win.
Yeah, who knows? Obviously, it'll start on pole because the sprint race format for this season isn't implemented on the F1 game. So the grid will be set based on the results from this race, which puts him in a prime position here tonight. Looked like Senna had mugged him, didn't it, Ian? I thought that Senna had done enough, but Cameron there, never say die.
That's why I never said anything when they came around the last corner. I saw Cameron's rear wing open up.
I was too busy recovering from saying that we were coming through the final corner when we were actually going through the third to last corner. I was too busy recovering from that to really be focusing on what was actually happening on the track. But nonetheless, Cameron, what a job, son. Well done. Fair play. Right, we'll be back for the new stream in about a minute because I'm literally going to end it and then restart a new one straight away. So yeah, guys, stick around. Keep an eye out for the Discord. I'll be posting the link in about 1 minute.